Life is all about balance. You don't always need to be getting stuff done. Sometimes it's perfectly okay and absolutely necessary to shut down, kick back, and do nothing. Lonnie Lonnie? How do you say that name? How do you say that name? How do you say that name? How do you say that name?
You what?
How do you say that name? How do you fucking say that name? I need to know that name. I need to get this video going. I need to get this going. Oh God, I'm so fucking behind. People keep talking, interrupting me. I can't get stuff done. It's not the way I want it. God, I gotta keep moving forward. I gotta keep pushing it. Gotta keep pushing it. Bro, chill. Relax. You're taking life too seriously. Guys, here's the thing about life. Do not force yourself into it. Let it force itself into you. Because life is always going to be there. It's never going to leave you behind. So you don't have to force anything because it is what it is. That's what's going on. Because life is always moving. It's always constantly going and you can't stop it. It doesn't take a hold. You can take a stop, but life doesn't. So that's what I mean. Don't force yourself into something that's already forcing itself into you. But I've been so patient and I can't get a girlfriend. I never had one. I'm almost 26 and I never had one. I can't get one. I'm just waiting so patiently and I'm doing everything I need to do and it just won't happen. It just can't happen. I have to work harder at this. Calm down. It'll happen. That type of stuff, that stuff will happen right out of the blue when you do not expect it. Just keep your eyes open and know what you want and know what you enjoy and then go towards that. Go towards the good feeling and then the good feeling will come back to you. Again, life will force itself into you. What about all my debt? I'm almost 80 grand in the hole. What am I gonna do? And I've not even been paying it because of what's been going on with the world. And I'm just so worried I'm gonna get fucked. I'm going to jail because I won't be able to pay for it. You're not gonna go to jail. Once again, life's gonna force itself into you. The way you're gonna go about it is you're gonna find ways to go about it. If you really want to solve an issue, the only way to not solve an issue is just to basically not solve it and just do nothing. If you do something, anything, it'll light that spark and you will find the way that you need to get it done. You'll find a way to get those loans paid off. You have more than enough time to pay those loans off. If you really come down to it and you're really struggling, there's people you can talk to get it lowered and eventually you will find a way to get it through. Just do basic steps. Find out everything about those loans. How much do you actually owe? And then talk to someone where you can come up with a plan to what age specifically you can target to pay it off. And once that information is forced upon you in your head, you can relax because you know you're on track. You've set up a basis and you've seen the finish line. But I don't have any friends. I don't go out. I don't do anything. I see all these people going on these awesome trips and living in these amazing places and I'm just sitting at home doing nothing. I'm trying to work towards something that'll make my life extraordinary, but it's just not working out. I feel like I'm just trapped and it's not gonna get better and no one wants to be interested in me. I'm gonna say it one more time. Let it force itself into you. Know what you like, know your interests, know what makes you happy and go towards it. Going towards it will force itself into you and you'll like that force because you're going towards stuff you like. And what comes along with that is people with the same interests forcing themselves into you because they're searching for the same thing you are. People with similar interests so that won't waste their time so they can spend their lives enjoying the same things you enjoy.
People keep saying Leah Thomas is a boy. She is a girl. What are they, biologists? Do you think they're biologists?
I mean, I know a tree's a tree and I'm not a botanist. So in life, there's pretty much a scale on acting, how we act. And I will be mentioning this probably through the majority of my content is you have to meet in that middle part. Because with life, again, don't force yourself into it, let it force itself into you. But obviously, sometimes you let life force itself too much into you. But the way it is, it's just like, it's different. It's the scale, but then there's also different levels of achievement. Because you're going about on that scale because you're not trying to force yourself too much into life, but you're not trying to let life force itself too much into your life. Just that equal part to where like, it's just an opening that makes you achieve straight ahead to exactly what you want. So basic examples would be people who force themselves way too much into life are very type A. They always want to be right. They're always taking charge. So they're not listening to anyone and they're trying to be like 20 steps ahead of everything and they do not take into account of anything. They try to beat nature. And just the tiniest thing that goes not the way they want, they freak out, like totally. And I mean, in some cases, if you read up, that this causes mental illness as well. If you try to force yourself too much into it, don't force it. It's kind of like when you're fishing and you have a big fish on your line and you want to have enough slack in that line so you release line more into it so that fish can swim around and tire out so you can reel it in. You don't want to force the line because it snaps. If you force your line in life, you snap. But if you let off enough line, enough slack, enough patience, and you slowly reel it in and do not force too much onto it, but just enough force, you'll catch your fish. But if you let life force itself way too much into you and you don't want to take any initiative, you get lazy, you get too relaxed, you get too comfortable into that. Depression will show up from this state of mind as well. Because some people resort to this as kind of feeling hopeless and giving up and just letting something take over them, letting them just sit on top of them, and they're just enduring it and they just succumb to it. To quote Pink Floyd, they are comfortably numb. And a lot of people would think, well, it's a lot easier to get out of that and into the good feelings instead of trying to force yourself into it. No, they're both equal parts. It's both equally how to get right back into that middle smooth area, get right back on track with life. It takes both the same type of effort, different in both ways. Because if you're overdoing it, forcing yourself too much into life, you just want to relax just a little bit and just be more aware. And when you're letting life force itself way too much into you, and you're just lazy and non-complacent and not really doing much, you want to use your awareness energy to force yourself more into aware of what's going on and be more active. If you really think about it, you're pulling energy from both ends of the spectrum into the middle. And you just have a smooth path to walk on. And as you're walking that path, you're in the driver's seat, your head's back, you're relaxed, and everything's coming your way. That's life. That's how life should be and is naturally for us men. And you can point these people out in public as well. People who force themselves too much into life, the way they walk, their backs are arched forward, or they're very stern and straight up and they just feel like they have a board tied to their back, keeping them flat, walking like a robot, or they're just peacefully moving forward with that arch in their back, just in search of what's next, in search of getting ahead, in search of get the fuck out of my way, I need to get this going. Me. Only I can do this. Nothing else is gonna force myself into this but me. And then you see the people that just are letting life force itself way too much into you. Now you see these types of people are just, they're very lazy, they don't really care how they look, and then they're just very much, as you can tell, as they have the I don't care type of attitude on their face. Just a very blatant,
just give it to me now. Just give it all you got. I don't care. I'll endure it. Just take me.
but if you relax, your shoulders are back, you're walking straight, your head's held high, slightly looking up to the future and letting whatever comes in front of you with your great depth perception like that to you. You get a full spectrum of what's going on and what's coming to you. So stop forcing yourself into life. Let life force itself into you. But don't let life force itself too much into you. Make sure you're also putting your initiative in and putting your part in as well. Because basically you are the vehicle and life is gas. And the vehicle doesn't go unless you're pressing the gas pedal. It just sits there. And if it's just sitting there, the gas is going to run out. And the car's going to stop and it's going to break down. And it's just the same thing. If you're going too fast, the gas will run out. Relax. Enjoy the ride.